I used to believe my faith was strong. I went to church, I prayed before meals, I thanked God for my work. From the outside, I looked like a faithful man. But the truth is, I didn't notice my faith was fading. Not all at once, not dramatically, just slowly. Like a watch losing time, 1 second at a time. And the strange thing is, I repair watches for a living. Yet somehow, I failed to notice what was happening to my own soul. I want to tell you what woke me up. Because if this could happen to me, it can happen to anyone. Maybe even you. My name is Elias. I am 81 years old, and for more than 50 years, I sat behind the same wooden counter in a small watch repair shop, tucked between a quiet bookstore and a bakery that always smelled of warm bread in the mornings. Most people never noticed my shop unless they were looking for it. But inside, it was a different world. Ticking clocks lined the walls. Old pocket watches rested in velvet trays. Tiny gears, springs, and polished hands waited patiently beneath the glow of a small brass lamp on my workbench. You learn something about time when you spend your life repairing it for others. People rarely brought me watches because they cared about the hour. They brought them because those watches carried memories. "This was my father's," someone would say. "My husband wore this every day. My mother gave it to me before she passed." To them, it wasn't metal. It was love, frozen in time. And I handled each one carefully, believing I understood the value of every second. At least, I thought I did. Until one quiet afternoon changed something inside me. It was a rainy Tuesday, the kind of rain that doesn't fall hard, just steady enough to hush the streets and make the world feel slower. Business had been quiet that day. I remember the soft tapping of rain against the window and the familiar chorus of ticking clocks filling the shop. Then the door opened softly, and a young woman stepped inside. She looked nervous, as if she were afraid to loosen her grip on what she held in her hands, an old pocket watch. She placed it on the counter with surprising care and said softly, "This was my grandfather's. It stopped the morning he died." Then she asked me a question I have never forgotten. "Can you fix it? Or has it been stopped too long?" For a moment, I didn't answer. I simply opened the watch and examined its tiny, delicate heart. It was beautiful inside, old craftsmanship, worn but not ruined. It needed cleaning, patience, and steady hands. So I looked up and told her, "No, it's not too late. This watch still has life in it." The relief on her face was immediate. But after she left, her question did not leave with her. "Has it been stopped too long?" That evening, as I sat alone in the shop, those words returned again and again. The ticking clocks that had always comforted me suddenly sounded louder, almost intrusive. And for the first time in many years, I asked myself a question I had been too busy to hear. When was the last time I sat quietly with God? Not a rushed prayer before sleep, not a quick blessing before a meal, but real stillness, real presence. I tried to remember. I truly did, but the answer would not come. Somewhere along the way, my life had filled itself with noise. Work needed doing, customers were waiting, bills arrived, responsibilities multiplied. And without ever deciding to walk away, I had slowly stopped making space for God. Faith rarely disappears in a single moment of rebellion. More often, it fades beneath the weight of ordinary life. Have you ever noticed that? There is no alarm when it begins, no voice announcing that your soul is drifting. Life just gets louder, and somehow, the quiet places where God once met you grow smaller. You may still believe. You may still attend church. From the outside, everything appears unchanged. But inside, distance grows. Over the years, I repaired thousands of watches. And if there is one thing that work taught me, it is this. A watch almost never breaks all at once. First it slows, a minute lost here, 5 minutes there. Easy to ignore, easy to excuse, until one day it stops completely. Faith can drift the very same way, not through rejection, but through neglect. A prayer skipped because you are tired, a quiet moment traded for another distraction, a Sunday that becomes optional. Tell me, have you ever looked up from your life and wondered how you traveled so far from the person you once hoped to be? If you have, you are not alone. The next morning, before opening the shop, I did something I had not done in years. I sat down without turning on the lights. No tools, no ticking clocks, no tasks demanding my attention. Just stillness. At first, I didn't know what to say, so I whispered the only honest thing I could find. God, I think I've been away longer than I realized. And in that quiet, something unexpected happened. I did not feel shame. I did not feel rejection. What I felt was invitation. It was as if God had been patiently waiting for me to notice the distance, so he could welcome me back. Scripture says, "Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you." Not chase you, not condemn you, simply draw near. So I began making small changes. Nothing dramatic, just faithful. A few minutes of prayer before the shop opened. Slowing down long enough to read a passage, learning, once again, how to be still. And something beautiful happened. Faith did not rush back like a storm. It returned quietly, like the steady ticking of a watch that has been carefully restored, consistent, alive, present. A week later, the young woman returned for her grandfather's watch. When I placed it in her hands, it was ticking again, soft, steady, dependable. She held it to her ear, and her eyes filled with tears. "It sounds alive," she said. I smiled, but inside I knew something else had come back to life too. Not the watch. My awareness, my dependence, my faith. Before she left, she thanked me again. And I almost told her that her simple question had repaired more than she could ever know. But some truths are better carried quietly. So today, if your life feels full, yet your spirit feels tired, pause for a moment. Listen carefully. What is shaping your time? Endless urgency, noise, the pursuit of more, or the gentle presence of God? Remember this, even a stopped watch can live again in the hands of a skilled maker. And you are held by the greatest maker of all. So don't ignore the slowing. Don't overlook the silence. Come back now, not someday. Because a life aligned with God is never time wasted. And if this old watchmaker may leave you with one final thought, it is this. Stay close to what is eternal, while you still have time. If this story found you at the moment you needed it, stay with us. There are more stories to come.